when they found Zainara. She was no longer the same girl who once walked proudly through the streets. The beauty everyone admired had been replaced by fear. The confidence she once used to insult elders had turned into silent tears. And the same mouth that once said, "Nobody can control my life," was now begging for a second chance. People gathered outside the building that morning. Some were shocked, some were crying, some were only shaking their heads. And one old woman said something nobody could forget. When a child refuses to hear warnings, she will eventually hear consequences. But what really broke people's hearts was not what happened to her. It was the fact that she was warned. Her mother warned her, her aunt warned her, even strangers warned her. But she believed she knew better. If only she had listened. If only she had been patient. If only she had understood that fast money often carries slow destruction. But by the time she understood, it was too late. So how did a girl with a bright future become a story parents now use to warn their children? How did a young woman who escaped poverty enter something worse than poverty? And what exactly happened inside the house of the man she trusted? To understand that, we must go back to where the mistake first began. Because disasters do not start in one day. They start with small disobedience, small pride, small wrong choices, until one day, the price becomes too big to pay. In the peaceful village of Udojara, where elders say character is wealth greater than gold, there once lived a girl whose story would later become a warning. Her name was Zainara, and this is how it all began. Zainara was born into comfort, not royal comfort, but enough comfort to make her believe struggle was for other people. She was the only child of Chief Obiora, a successful trader, and Mama Halima, a gentle woman known for kindness. And because she was their only child, they loved her without limits. But as elders say, too much softness can spoil even the strongest fruit. Whenever Zainara made mistakes, her father solved them with money instead of discipline. If she insulted a teacher, he apologized with gifts. If she fought with other children, he paid compensation. If she refused to study, he would say, "She will understand when she grows." But our ancestors also say, the child you refuse to train today may become the adult that trains your sorrow tomorrow. Slowly, without realizing it, they were raising pride instead of character. Zainara grew bold. She began talking back to elders, ignoring instructions, mocking advice. When old women tried to correct her, she would say, "This is a new generation. Your time has passed." Some elders would just sigh and say, "Time is the best teacher, but its school fees are very expensive." Then one day, life changed without warning. Her father left home healthy. Before sunset, he was gone. Death came like a thief that does not knock. And suddenly, reality entered Zainara's life. The steady money stopped. The visitors stopped coming. The respect reduced. Even relatives who used to visit often disappeared. Because as another proverb says, when the tree falls, the birds scatter. Her mother had no choice. For the first time in her life, Mama Halima began working on the roadside, frying bean cakes and selling food just to survive. The sun became her companion. Sweat became her perfume. Survival became her focus. But Zainara, instead of understanding, she became bitter. She complained about their new life, complained about the food, complained about everything. But she refused to work, refused to learn, refused to change. Instead, she began spending time with girls known for reckless living, girls who believed enjoyment today was more important than tomorrow. That was when fear entered her mother's heart. Because mothers see danger before children do. So Mama Halima made a painful decision. She sent Zainara to the city of Nkwazi to live with her elder sister, Auntie Amara, a woman known for discipline and hard work. Her prayer was simple: let my daughter learn something that will save her future. When Zainara arrived, Auntie Amara welcomed her with love, but also with rules. Wake early, respect customers, learn hairdressing, be responsible. At first, Zainara agreed, but agreement is easy, discipline is hard. Soon she became tired of instructions, tired of work, tired of being corrected. She began sneaking out at night without her aunt knowing, into streets filled with loud music, bright lights, and dangerous temptations. And that was where she met the man who would change everything. Jabari, older, smooth-talking, generous, observant, the kind of man who studies a person's weakness before making his move. At first, just conversation, then drinks, then small gifts, then money, then expensive things Zainara had never owned before. And slowly, her heart began to move away from discipline. Because now she was comparing two lives. One life required patience and learning. The other required only her presence. Soon she began missing days at the salon. Customers would ask for her. She would not be there. Her aunt began noticing changes. Late nights, secret phone calls, new expensive items. Then one evening, Auntie Amara sat her down and said, "My daughter, the road that is too easy often leads somewhere dangerous." Zainara smiled dismissively. Her aunt continued, "Any man giving you comfort you did not work for is expecting something in return. But pride does not accept warnings. Pride sees enemies everywhere." Zainara replied coldly, "You just don't want me to succeed." That sentence cut deep, but Auntie Amara tried one last time. "Listen carefully. Not every open door is a blessing. Some are traps." But Zainara had already made up her mind, because Jabari was now giving her what she valued most: money, attention, freedom from rules. Then came the final confrontation. One evening, her aunt confronted her about abandoning her training. The argument became loud. Respect disappeared. Anger took control. And Zainara said the words that destroyed everything. "I refuse to suffer like you. I choose my own life." That was the night she packed her bags. No regret, no fear, no understanding of what she was walking into. As she walked out, Auntie Amara said quietly, "A child who rejects advice today will search for it tomorrow." Outside, Jabari was waiting, leaning confidently against his car, smiling like someone who had just won something valuable. As she entered his car, Zainara believed she was entering her best life. She did not know. She was entering the beginning of the disaster you heard about at the start, because what Jabari was hiding was not ordinary. And very soon, the truth would begin to show. Because in Africa we say, the sweetness of stolen honey never lasts. What Zainara was enjoying had a hidden cost, and the day she discovered that cost was the day her life changed forever. Because the house she was going to was not just a house, and the man she trusted was not just a man, and the life she desired was not what it seemed. What exactly was Jabari hiding? Why did people fear his name? And what really happened that night she moved into his house? That is where part 2 begins. To be continued.